Welcome back to Golden Axe Beast Rider, and now we're on to the Fiend's path. Also, Ass Shot.
Interesting.
More like golden ass.
So, what is Tyris' costume for this one? Dio?
Oh, great. More generic grunge.
Anyway,
Yeah, seriously,
sorry.
so there ain't
No, but we don't get it.
Anyway.
Yes, it was the peak. Remember, Dweebs, Me 2000 was the peak of pure edginess.
Anyway.
This was the late 2000s.
Well, Me Too Late, Dweebs.
Anyway, so Tio,
Yes.
what's Tyris' costume for this level?
A more metallic armor, basically.
It looks neat, I guess.
I bet most of the costume also retain the.
That guy was just
Yes.
walking and was not paying mind to you attacking him.
We're walking here. We're walking here. Also, anyway, some of these enemies summon demon gnomes, which explode in contact.
Great.
Because this wasn't already painful.
So
And by the
did
way,
the composer of Warrior Within come in to
No,
guest compose?
but guess
Okay,
what?
it's not
He's
that
never
bad.
also. What the hell is that mod? Excuse me.
He
Okay
vanished.
then. Also, don't take those juices because that's poison instead. This has been a thing that's popping up since pretty much the City of the Dead, but some of these enemies drop this kind of fake health potion but instead give you poison.
Oh boy, so what does that mean then? Is there a way
Your health gets reduced, Jonah.
Is there any way to stop the poison, or do you just have to
Yeah,
take
it doesn't deplete it entirely, it's just reducing a chunk of it.
Okay, but say you're like down to like your last bit of life, is there a way to stop the poison, or...
No, you just have to tank it because you were an idiot.
That feels a bit player hostile, not gonna lie.
like this game hasn't been so far, Jova. Also, some of these mages can actually teleport very annoyingly.
I'll admit, this game is definitely one of those cases where...
Ow.
Oh. That's going to
Stop
become annoying.
popping me.
This is one of those games that love to respawn its enemies a lot.
Yeah. Again, the location placement doesn't help either because we're in this place with chock full of spikes where if you get slammed into it, you take extra damage. You can try to do that to the enemies as well, but it's not as effective as they do it to you. Ow.
Did the game just speed up there for a bit?
Again, Jova, it's the frame rate.
Holy
Again,
cow.
it keeps going between 60 and 20, if not less, and it's so distracting. I was tempted, like I said, to just give it a cap of 30, but no, I think all of you need to experience how it feels like.
Wait. There's actually an option in the game menu to cap
No, but it could have rendered the videos in 30 if I wanted.
Oh, no. We gotta see this. Besides, it's usually our SCWRM policy these days to render stuff in 60
As
FPS.
polished as possible, yeah.
It's kind of like with NAC 1, too, even though the frame rate of NAC 1 never actually reaches 60. I still recorded it in a way that we can actually see all 40 FPS glory.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember any point where that game actually reached something close to 60.
No, it doesn't. I don't think even on the Pro it does. But hey, at the very least in NAC 2 you can lock it to 30 on the options.
Well, Pedro maybe will actually reach it on the PS5.
I have no doubt that on the PS5 it will.
Who knows?
Anyway, new enemy type, the Kashtun. Basically, yeah, as the description says, we're basically reptile people. And yes, that means also they're very agile. And they try to use the trident.
What's this about them being from Death Adder's own seed, though?
Progeny, Jova. It's flavor text for the sake of being flavor text.
So there
Oh wait, I know how this works. This means that they want to kill Tyris so they can offer Tyris' blood as a sacrifice to revive Death Adder. Oh wait, wrong game.
Would work if Death Adder was dead, but no, they're still alive.
I was about to say, though, them being from Death Adder's seed implies that he, like, banged a lamia or something and birthed them.
Well, that's the thing, Job. Remember how in the original arcade version, Death Adder was just a bunch of snakes that took human form.
Yes.
They took it a new twist to this game, but it's saved for when we actually meet him. Unfortunately, this is one thing with Death Adder as a villain is keep constantly teased for the entire game, and you only meet it literally at the end.
How nice.
Okay, it's one of those beasts that have these horrible sound clips.
Wasn't
Again,
this the one that
it's
you
sad
said that
that
you
it's-
liked its movement, though?
No, I like the one that looks like a rhinoceros, I forgot the name. This one is useful because it's extremely powerful for dispatching enemies and has a good knockback, but again, the sound design makes it so annoying. And this music is... oh god, so many bombs, please no. Yeah, this was me just realizing, oh no, I have to do this.
Oh,
the frame rate!
You know, I didn't know we were playing the Matrix video game.
Oh my, seriously.
I thought you were talking about instead Crash to Insanity on the 360.
No.
Wow, just so much is sneezing
There are
on this.
even more bombs. Okay, let's try to be careful now. The problem with this bomb path also is the fact that for when you're using a steed, you know, you have no choice but to detonate them, but they're conveniently shaped so you can potentially avoid them by standing down. The problem is that there are chests that can be opened only by your steed, meaning that you're supposed to find a way to get here with the steed without blowing them up. I honestly don't know what's the more effective one.
I guess to be fair, from the looks of it, there is a gap, like a sort of pathway gap between those bombs, which you could have traversed with your steed.
Mm-hmm. Possible. It's just that it's tight and the frame rate juggling doesn't help either.
Oh god, I know exactly how you feel. It's like during my playthrough of Mighty Number 9. Especially when I used arguably the best weapon, the Crash Bomber. Oh, sorry, Mighty Number 5's weapon. And you'll recall how a lot of times, sometimes... Okay, that move was cool. How a lot of
and
times...
again, Jova, I don't know how to what's the specific trigger to perform. Sometimes if Tyris performs a counter effectively... Yes, again, remember, Jova, these are divided in macro stages.
Right.
Remember, again, sometimes if the parry is perfect, the Tyris will perform that move. Other times she will not. I don't know if it's a problem of the timing in itself, or something else entirely, but sometimes you get these special moves and other times you don't. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Seriously?
Yeah, the game baits you by giving you the alpha item and then throws the nose at you.
Well, sucks to be them.
Yeah, thanks to the power jump cut.
So, ignoring how terrible this game is, what's your favorite enemy type, you know, in this game?
In this one, probably any enemy type that has the boar warrior armor that was mentioned in the flavor text. Basically, the warriors with the green armor that start showing up since the 4th level, mostly for design purposes and weapon types. Cool warrior-like, aesthetics. The enemy variety in general here, in terms of aesthetic, is okay. Not the most spectacular to me, but it's okay for what he wants to do. And again, like you yourself said, Joe, it works for the context of the setting, despite being a reboot and all. So I'm willing to let a pass on some of the more not cute designs.
It's amazing.
I mean,
it
would have been cool if we had some enemies that were more closely similar to the original designs, just to see what they do look like in 3D like this. But it makes sense for them to decide to take liberties because this is a reboot after all.
It is amazing how many
I know, it's really
similarities I've
enticing,
noticed
isn't it, Pedro?
between this and Mighty Number 9. Especially because, like in Mighty Number 9,
Stop
apparently...
ignoring me! Please pay attention. There you go. Seriously.
They don't want to fight you.
Well,
nice.
the problem is I need to progress. And in order to progress, I have to slaughter all of them.
They're but Theo, this game sort of, it's like this game's commentary. You're actually the monster.
Of course it is.
Oh god, can you imagine if the game did that at the end? Turns out Death Adder was the hero, and you guys were the real monsters. Death Adder was just trying to save
Pedro.
everyone.
Yes, too.
Looks like it seems to me. I don't know you, but it feels to me that Golden Axe isn't such a bad thing compared to this. After all,
You mean Golden Axe free?
free. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no. I'll take that generic ending again, please.
Even on gameplay purposes, I honestly enjoyed it more for what it was because it will at least it stick close to the formula.
Like,
It made it work.
at worst, you could say that Golden Axe 3 was the formula starting to feel a bit tired after time, but at the very least, it still, for the most part, worked, all things considered.
Alright, each of these stones when you need to destroy spawns one of these Demon Knights. They are identical to the Phantom Knights, so same mechanic.
I'm guessing the frame rate can sometimes mess you up with the parry.
That too. And remember, these particular knights attack relentlessly, so you need to perfect your timing.
We need Dotemu to.
Oh, whoa! That was hardcore, and holy cow, Tyris, you're still alive after that.
Well,
I guess Tyris is a Mortal Kombat character. She only truly dies when the life bar is truly run
pretty
out.
much.
Apparently, seriously, I would not have been surprised if that was an actual one-hit kill, but no. Also, that
Oh yeah,
guy's-
by the way, each Demon Knight spawn and exploding known where they die, because fuck you. That's also a good sec. It is basically your hint to try to take down one of them at a time.
Oh god, you mean you can potentially break more than one tablet and have to...
Well, yeah, if you want, you can destroy all of the stones. Remember, you can destroy the stones with a golden axe. If you're good with the speed, you can actually try to destroy all of them. But they do each of them do spawn an enemy, so be careful. There we go. Thankfully, some of these are more easier to deal than others, so at least there is that. Come on. Yeah, these enemies with the shield are also a bit annoying because of this, so they can also parry your own attacks. There we go. Now it's easy picking.
Lovely.
Alright, I think it's only one remaining. There we go. Yeah, I actually kind of like the more infernal look for some of these Demon Knights. The incandescent effect actually does work here. Come on. This one also loses his armor, as you can see.
Yep.
Although, by the way, they are played in this section as if they're supposed to be mini-bosses, but these are the kind of trope of degraded mini-bosses, because they will show up, I think, later on in this same type of level, just as, more regular enemies. Stop laughing and get here, piece of shit.
That's one thing that stayed true to the original formula, the gnomes being annoying dicks.
That's their whole purpose in life, Jova. Also, see what I mean with the frame rate? When it goes from 20 to 60, it's like it's whiplash. It looks like you're going super fast. Also, game, I think you
Behold,
forgot to render something.
the mystical tablets have foretold of
She's
this.
making it float with her mind.
Oh shit.
Oh, goody.
Basically, now you have to spray it over because exploding nose will keep getting thrown at you. There you go, if you don't do anything. Shit.
Yeep.
Shit. Alright, time for another round, this time with the... There we go. Now, the best thing to do, I think, if I recall, is to try not to take in the main arena, but instead take the fight to the stairs. At least if I recall. It's been a while, again. Basically, at this point also I learned that one particular combo, which I think it's square, triangle, triangle, does allow you to perform like a knockback that does seem to deal a bit more damage to the enemies, but not much. But I'll take whatever I can.
Power of stairs indeed.
Fuck.
Let me mount you, damn it.
Also, some missing sound effect. This fucking game just keeps on delivering. I honestly do wonder if the whole reason why we didn't do a PC port back then was because the game was so poorly optimized we didn't want to release it there. At least if we did, probably would be some crazy modder, or someone like Durante who would have actually been able to fix some of the problems.
Imagine, what if a modder was able to...
Yeah, we need something similar to Project Sonic 06, but with this game.
Imagine, what if a modder was actually able to find all the lost footage and put it back in the game?
Nah, because the studio has been disbanded since Iron Man 2, like I said, and honestly I don't know if the assets are still in the Sega headquarters or we just decide to delete them permanently, as their abomination that they are, so... There we go.
Is there a way to heal your mount ever?
No.
Dang.
Actually, surprisingly, no. You have to. This is compensating Fury by having spawning a platform nearby. So basically, if your Steve gets destroyed, you can actually get a new one soon enough. The problem is that it doesn't always seem to be the case, like in this one.
I love how that enemy was running at you for a bit and then ran right back to the
Decided,
mountain.
no,
like
I want to get the Steve back. Like I said, the priorities in terms of the AI is all over the place. And it's just going to be unknowing in every shape or form. Jesus Christ. Ow.
My
And
car
we already
now!
stopped. Yeah, seriously. Also, I didn't explain much of the magic, but just to give, like I mentioned this very briefly. You get a fireball, then your fireball gets a bit more powerful as time goes on. Then you get a circle which consumes 2 units, and when you have a max unit, just like in the original game, you can basically summon a dragon that sort of insta kills everything that's on screen. The problem is that it's not really worth it because the enemies go on with such many hordes. But even if you clear the screen, more enemies will arrive. So it's one of those cases where it's a cool, awesome, but impractical, essentially. The standard projectiles and the circle frames are much of better use for you to do. The problem is that replenishing magic in this game is tedious on its own. And the game has stopped being generous with the health and mana fountains a long time ago. So yeah. Alright, let's see if by defeating him I'll be allowed to proceed. Ow. There we go. I forgot if I mentioned, but if you perform a block when an enemy is doing a move that should be countered by a parry, you will still manage to block it, but the trade-off is that you will still lose a minimal amount of health and Tyris will recoil from the impact. Meaning that you will be penalized, but only slightly. But you will still be penalized.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's proceed, please.
Who else wants some? No, I dare you.
Oh, there's a spawning platform. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Okay, this one is pretty nice because there's a pit in the middle, so you can just throw potentially the enemies inside it and be done with them. And there's a beast spawning platform here as well. So you're actually the game is a bit throwing a bone at you.
Thank God the enemy can't trigger the beast spawning.
No, it's only exclusive to you. Oh, for fuck's sake.
And
Yeah,
like...
that's a problem with. That's one problem with this game. Because there's not many cutscenes in the game. Because really there's all you doing is this stuff. It's not a whole lot of saves.
Don't worry, Dweebs.
Oh, well, to be fair, Dweebs, the glitches give us...
Oh, are you kidding me? I mean,
Wow.
these
but
enemies
Jeremy,
are...
even the glitches start to blend in.
The gameplay gives us a lot to talk about of how bafflingly backwards it is a lot of times.
Alright, let's see if I can actually kick
Can
one
you at least
into...
move? Can you at least move the camera in this game?
Yes, with the right analog stick,
There
as
you
per
are.
tradition.
There you go. In terms of historically 2D franchises making the switch to 3D, you're better than when Mega Man X7 tried to do that.
True. He's got a point.
Yeah, at most you can only use the shoulder buttons to move the
I don't,
camera in that.
I don't remember if the Alone in the Dark reboot allowed you to do that.
Also,
And even then, it was only in select parts.
I think when it comes to bad 2D to 3D transitions, Mega Man X7 is, well, it's a contender for king of the worst in that regard.
I mean, granted, to me, at least it had a game afterwards, unlike Bubsy.
Well, what are you talking
It had a
about?
game too, but with Mega Man, there was only with Mega Man X7 to 8, there was only a gap of 1 year. But Bubsy,
True.
was like a gap of 21 years.
And nowadays, no one really talks about Bubsy. Like, seriously, the last game he was supposedly releasing was like in what, 2018? That
Yeah, I'm
fire
surprised
coffin?
I think the novelty quickly wore off.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'm surprised
much.
we didn't
There was a
talk much
reason.
about it.
There was a reason the series was left forgotten for 21 years.
Yeah, like, there's the thing. Like, for as bafflingly bad as Bubsy is, his novelty, well, that's the thing. He doesn't really have much novelty. Like, he had a pilot, but that pilot failed because it failed to garner an audience here and there.
And it was shit.
What?
It's, let's just say it's something Rob Paulson probably won't be
No, I
putting
was
on his
asking Leaves.
resume.
It was a crap pilot as well.
Yeah. There we go.
I can just
Like I said,
imagine what...
the impalement actually works for the better here.
I can just imagine
Go
what they
on.
told the voice actors of these monsters.
I think we just use the generic grunts from like sound effects, stock sound effects.
Okay, we can finally move on.
Hopefully.
With a purpose.
Can we though? Or is this game purgatory?
No, don't worry. It's actually almost over. And we transition to the next stage.
They happen so abruptly.
The level doesn't actually end; it just stops.
Well, actually, Paige, that's the thing. It's more like
Oh,
it
this time I
pauses.
actually got to keep the mount. How generous.
Maybe we're getting back to
Right.
the sections where they actually fully programmed it again.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, I think soon enough I'm actually gonna speed up because this part can be a bit tedious.
Well, if you skip through all the tedious parts, and you have to skip the entire game.
Well, that is why I kept a part of it, just to not skip the entirety of it, you know. For the sake of, you know, still showing something, but I didn't want for this to be double the length.
This is...
Or Glimpse, you wanted to be here for 16 parts instead of 8. I thought so.
I could have handled it, but honestly, though, that's the problem with this game. This is the kind of game that tricks you into thinking, oh, this might be a pleasant experience in, like, the first 10 minutes or so, but after those 10 minutes have gone by, you realize what you've gotten yourself into.
I guess. I will say this, the actual choreography for the actual combat moves seem to be smooth enough.
Sure.
So some of the animation actually seem to have worked fine. Again, it showcased the fact that the game was mostly rushed and incomplete, I mean just bad.
Yeah, like I said,
the problem is that there we go. The problem is that it already had took so much time to do it. When the idea of that I usually say for this kind of games, say, oh, developers should have just had more time, was not really valid. Sega really should have just found another publisher, give it to whatever material they, you know, San Francisco was working on, you know, and told them to either start from scratch again or finish the product. That kind of like what Gearbox was, quote unquote, supposed to do with Duke Nukem 3D.
What's this track?
Ghosts and
The
Goblins.
first stage from Ultimate Ghost and Goblins.
I'm curious, why this track? Okay. More,
Fiend's Path Drova.
well, more so, oh, true, yeah. I was gonna say, why didn't you use this, you know, when we were in the City of the Dead level?
The Carnivale sounded more fitting. Keep in mind that I decided to construct the parts as we were going, so I was more like improvising on the spot what music to choose.
But of course.
Also, yeah, sure, let's just say it just makes sense. Basically, these next match basically essentially just has you slaughtering another bunch of enemies without any major other fanfare.
And I guess now we've come to the actual end.
Conclusion. More like,
So
there you go.
what's the gift to the gods?
Like bonuses that you get if you get enough money. Like I said, the Dweebs of all, they seem to work only in a scripted kind of way, despite them teasing that you get more stuff if you obtain like an A rank, you know, and more gold. The progression of the bar seems to do whatever the fuck it wants. I actually tried experimenting that. Anyway, tune in for the next part for the epic conclusion, quote, citation needed, for Golden Axe Beast Rider. See ya.
See you then.